Now turn up.
What up is Marcus Dynasty Football Dads. We have the top 12 quarterbacks for 2021. Now, I will be discussing a little bit of Dynasty in here as well, but we're going to go from 12 to 1 right off the bat. Number 12, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is going to have, he has Mike Davis. Mike Davis we don't know if he can actually be the entire three-down running back for the entire year without getting hurt. If he does, for some reason, get hurt, they have Calvin Ridley, they have Russell Gage, they have a guy that Zakamas, whatever his name is. They have, of course, Kyle Pitts. They're going to be throwing a ton. And so Matt Ryan at 12 here, I think, is a really good spot in 2021. I do think that there's going to be some quarterbacks that are going to produce a little bit better. Number 11 is Ryan Tannehill, which 11 is kind of low for him because he's had, the last year and a half, he's been a really, really excellent quarterback. The biggest issue I think he's going to have is I think that the offense is not going to be slower. I just think that the offense is just not going to score as many points, and he's not going to have as many rushing touchdowns. I think you're going to see some better passing out of him, but I think the rushing of Ryan Tannehill, even though he was a wide receiver at Texas A&M and he's been rushing decently well, I think you're going to have just a little bit of a down season. But 11, I think, is a good spot for him. I could even see him be higher. There's a lot of these quarterbacks from, I would say, 6 to 12. I would say 6 to 12 that you can kind of shuffle all around, which is kind of, I don't know, they're not the second tier. These almost these third tier quarterbacks for this year. Number 10. Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady, you got Godwin, you got Giovanni Bernard. You have Evans, you have Antonio Brown, you have Tyler Johnson, you have Jalen Darden, you have every single person that you think of, Gronk, OJ, Brady. It's like they have everybody. And I didn't even name the other three Tampa Bay running backs. So Brady, I think, is going to have a really, really good year. He was a QB1 last year and performed at a top 8 level the second half of the year last year. So I think number 10 is a good spot for him. Number 9, Trevor Lawrence. I think they're going to throw a ton. I think James Robinson is going to be a really good running back this year. I think he's going to be into that top, close to the end of the RB1s. But Trevor Lawrence, I think, is going to have a really good rookie year. And we're looking at like a Justin Herbert type rookie year. So I have him at 9. Number 8, and I just realized I put Wilson, and I almost thought Zach Wilson. I was like, no, that's not who I want. I want Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, number 8, the guy of two halves. What half are you going to get right away? What half are you going to get the second half of the year? I kind of hope he starts off a little slow because then you can start buying him, and he'll get that second half push. So Russell Wilson at number 8. Number 7, Aaron Rodgers. He seems like he's 1 or 2 if he's healthy. I think he's going to try to do a little revenge tour. But the biggest issue, I think, is you're not going to have the touchdown percentage per snap. You look at Devontae Adams, a ton of touchdowns. You look at Robert Tonyan. He had, I don't even remember what it was. It was like 11 touchdowns in 52 games or something like that. I think it was something like that. He had just a ridiculous amount of touchdowns. He's going to have regression. Touchdown regression from Adams and Tonyan. Maybe he gets a little bit more into the wide receiver three mix with the other Rodgers, Amari Rodgers. But maybe not. I think realistically you're going to have a guy that is going to be mid quarterback 1 here. So number 6, Justin Herbert. There's a subscriber named Joe Herbert, and I always want to say Joe Herbert. Bad Joe Herbert. Justin Herbert. And so Justin Herbert, I think, is going to have a really good sophomore year. And you're talking about a guy who broke all rookie records at a quarterback position. And I think number 6 is a really good spot for him here. Again, you see a lot of these guys from Herbert, Rodgers, even Russell Wilson, Lawrence. They're mobile. They're not crazy mobile. They're not rushers like basically these next 5 are. And that's why the rushing is just such a cheat. It is such a cheat in fantasy football, but it's what it is. Number 5, Lamar Jackson. You could argue that he could, and just seeing that Dobbins went down, you could say that Lamar, it could be all on his shoulders. I don't think passing is going to be very well again. You could have that back half of the year where he passes for 180, he passed for 180 yards a game the last half of the year. You could see him pass for 170, 180 yards a game again, but still be QB5. And that's what I'm expecting from Lamar. I don't see QB1 in there, but I think he could have, he could. He's easily a league winner. He definitely could. Number 4, Kylie Murray. I think he's going to have some touchdown regression. I think they're going to use him more in the passing game. They need to save him. He's super young. We cannot continue to utilize and abuse his body to some of those hits. He needs to save up. Or else, again, you're going to have some of these quarterbacks that are super mobile. I would say Murray, I would say Murray and Lamar are two of the most mobile quarterbacks. Lance could be a part of that group as well, that you need to save them because you cannot get them exposed to hits. The problem with Lamar is no one can touch him. That's part of the issue with Lamar. Like, it's almost impossible to touch him. Once you get him down, then it's a little bit easier. Murray's not as, he's fast and quick, but he's not as elusive as Lamar Jackson. So number 3, this is Dak Prescott. We're hoping for a healthy year. If he's not having a healthy year, you could see him be out of the top 12 completely, but I'm going to suspect that he's going to be healthy and they are going to throw a crap ton. I mean, you could see him hit 5,000 yards passing. I mean, he has 3 amazing wide receivers. He has Zeke out of the backfield. It'll be interesting to see how he recovers from the ankle. He's the biggest risk here, but I think he could be number 3. He was number 1 quarterback when he got hurt. Like, he was the number 1 quarterback. Number 2 is Josh Allen, and I think this is where Josh Allen is one of my favorite quarterbacks. It was fun when I had him, when he was just kept producing, and he was almost like that the guy that you could just keep buying at low, and then all of a sudden last year it's like, nope, you can't buy him low anymore. He's way too expensive. But Josh Allen is a guy who, again, you're going to get that 6, 7, 8 rushing touchdowns. And it's just a surprise because Buffalo has no other running back to kind of compete through there. So Josh Allen. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. And so this is easy. Patrick Mahomes is the safest quarterback to be number 1. He has all the weapons, and he's a new offensive line to really help him pretty much just kind of mobilize back there and just do whatever the heck he wants. It's going to be really fun to see him. I'm predicting QB1 back from him versus last year where he was not QB1, but I think he'll be back on the top, and no QB1 has ever repeated, number 1 overall has repeated back-to-back years, and it's been like 12 years or something like that. So, Pat Mahomes. All right? So, this is Marcus Nice Simple Dads. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Now turn